Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to look at a Leetcode problem, and the problem's name is merge nodes in between zeros. In this question, we're given the head of a linked list which contains a series of integers separated by zeros. And the beginning and the end of the linked list is having the value 0. For every two consecutive zeros, merge all the nodes lying in between them into a single node whose value is the sum of all the merged nodes. And the modified list should not contain any zeros in it. And our task is to return the head of the modified linked list. So let's take a look at this example and see how we can solve this question. So let's take the first example here. So initially the head was here and they're saying that the first node and the last node are going to be zeros. So we can start our processing from this node. So before starting your calculation, move head to head.next. So head is now here. And now we have to calculate the sum of the nodes between the two zeros. Calculate the sum of the nodes. The sum of the nodes is 4. So I create another node current which is pointing to the head, and this current will keep moving until the end, and head will be fixed here so that it keeps adding the merged number. So current is initially here. So calculate the sum. So sum is initially 0. Add the value at current, it is 3, and move current forward. Add the value at current is having value 1, now sum is 4, and now when current is at 0, take the value of sum and add it to head.val is equal to sum, and head.next, this node will point to the recursive call. We have to repeat this process again. So now we are going to calculate the sum here. So this is head.next. I calculate the sum again using this current variable. So current will start from here, create a variable sum again which is starting with 0. I add these values. Once current moves forward, I keep adding that value. So current is here, and once current reaches 0, so I keep adding the value of current until I reach 0. So the value of sum is 11. So head.val is 11. Head.val is equal to sum, which is 11. So now I have and this is anyhow null. Let's say this will move to null now. Now I have the answer ready, because once current reaches null, we end the iteration, and the merged list is having the value 4. 4 is pointing to 11, and 11 is pointing to null, and this is the answer which is expected, which is matching here. Now let's take a look at the code. Coming to the function given to us, this is the function name, and we are given the head of a linked list, and we have to return the head of the merged linked list. Now we are here, that is the head of the linked list, and it says that the beginning of the linked list is always a 0. So let's start our processing from this node. So we have to move the head one step to the right. So head will start from head.next. Now head is here. And now if this head, after moving it one step to the right, is a null, we have to return the linked list. So if head is equal to null, it means it has only one node. Then we can return that node which is at head. So return head. Now that we took care of the base case, we need another node. I'm going to name it current so that we can process the rest of the nodes by moving forward without moving the head. So I'm going to name it current, which is pointing at the head of the linked list. Now we use a while loop and we iterate through the linked list using this node current. So until this current points to a 0 again, we process all the nodes between them. So while current is not equal to 0, so current.val is not equal to 0, we keep track of a variable called sum. So let's calculate the sum. I'm going to create a variable sum which is equal to 0, and to this sum I keep adding that value present at the current node. So sum plus equal to current.val, I keep adding that value, and now we move the current pointer to the next node so that we can process the next node inside this while loop. So current is equal to current.next. Now this while loop will break when we point to 0. So first it will process this, add it. Next it will process this, add it. Now current is here and it points to 0. So we have the value 4 inside this variable sum. So replace the value at head. Head is here. So replace that value at head with the sum. So head.val is equal to sum. And now we move head to the next pointer. Now to move the head, we move it to the next pointer, head.next. We have to repeat the same process again. So we call this function here, which will make this a recursive function, and pass the value current to it, because head will now point to a node where the next merge value will be entered, and current is already pointing to the next node we have to process. So I pass in the node current to this because it's expecting a node. And finally we have to return the list node, right? And head is now at the beginning of the merged list. So I'm going to return head. Now let's try to run the code. The test cases are being accepted. Let's submit the code. And our solution is accepted. So the time complexity of this approach is big of n because we're using a while loop to iterate through all the nodes inside the linked list. And the space complexity is also big of n because we're using recursion, and recursion needs a stack. So that stack will be of the length n, where n is the number of nodes present inside the linked list. That's it guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.